Welcome to the Hacking Self-Storage podcast. I am here with Craig Conway from Janus. Craig, thank you so much for your time, buddy.
No, thanks for inviting me. Thank you very much, Dean.
My absolute pleasure. So, Craig, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and what you do at Janus?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Janus in 2020, in the November of 2020. So I haven't been with the industry very, very long. But I'm in charge of all production logistics activity, which goes on in Janus International Europe, and also all of the R&D and new innovation in product development, and also in regards to new materials used throughout the industry.
Love it. And so you're the guy behind the external units, which I'm just going to get to in a minute. So what do you think about the self-storage industry at the minute?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I was at the Fidessa event late last year. I think the people within it and the organisation absolutely fantastic. I thought it was quite amazing how things have evolved through a short space of time as well. Yeah. Now, how innovation is incorporated the self-storage market. It was something I'd never really heard of, if I'm being 100% honest, before I come into the industry. But now I absolutely live and breathe it. I think it's absolutely fantastic industry to be within.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And do you know what? Everybody says the people as well. And when I first came into the industry, everyone was like, the people. I was like, oh, what is this? Everybody's talking about the people. But everybody literally is so nice and so helpful and so friendly.
Absolutely. And there's some fantastic characters as well within this sort of industry and sector. I've met some fantastic people over the last 2 years. It's been quite incredible, actually.
Oh, we're all nuts, buddy. We're all nuts, but we love it. So in terms of Janus Europe, then, the range of self-storage doors, partitions and relocatable units, where are these units produced then?
Yeah, so everything's manufactured in the northeast of England in Peterlee at our centre of excellence. So we've got sites all over the world now: Australia, Asia, the UK, and obviously Americas. And it's just incredible, the scale of Janus International. I've just been over to Georgia, actually, Temple in Georgia, to see our larger size site as well. Absolutely, the scale of this place is unbelievable. It's taken over the world at present, which is absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of external units, and people will know that I love my external units, and I hear you're the man behind it.
Well, yeah, I'm certainly not behind the external unit. You know, someone created it before me, but I've just customized it and innovated it into something which probably the self-storage industry hasn't seen previously. So we have two different types. We've got the mass unit, which is the relocatable version, 6 meters in length by 2.4 in the single door, double door, treble door and quadruple door versions. And we've also got the vault, which is a flat pack system. So that comes as a flat pack crate, and it can be put up within about an hour, 2 hours, for someone who doesn't have a lot of engineering skills or come from a construction background. And we've got a lot of them floating around the UK and Europe at present as well.
Yep. So the flat pack one, how many people would you say it takes to put up then in an hour?
Yeah, I'd say the flat pack, I'd say 3 people to put it up. Yeah, and it comes, like I say, it comes all fully boxed. The roller door comes attached inside the box as well. All locks, doors, hinges, everything's fitted in there. It's just a case of unassembling the box and just, it's like Meccano. It's like something from IKEA. It just goes together really, really well. We've got fantastic installation manuals that come with it as well. So you can just pick it up, read it, and it's just it just guides you right the way through the process, right until completion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just saying this because you're on the podcast. Everybody knows what I think about these Janus units. I think they're absolutely spectacular, pal. I really, really think they're so good. I think they look sexy. I think they're a sexy looking unit.
No, I agree. I think they're different, aren't they? You know, they're not like the old school or a container. You know, they really do look very swish and stylish, you know, for a site. It's certainly welcoming for a customer. If I was walking up to a site, certainly something I'd be impressed to walk up toward and use. So yeah, I agree. I think they're fantastic.
And what's the demand been like then since the conference? Has it gone through the roof? Is it people interested?
Off the scale. The inquiries that have been coming through the business are huge. We've got probably most people in the market looking at these now, even people who've got just the standard self-storage units, not the externals. People are starting to inquire about them. So certainly keeping our sales guys and marketing team extremely busy at the minute with the amount that's coming through the factory and also through the inquiry pages as well.
Yeah, do you know what? When I see a self-storage site, I can't believe an indoor self-storage, and they've got a massive car park. I don't understand why people aren't utilising that space. Every site that we're looking at now, if there's a car park or something, I look at that as free space to put something on, whether it be a container, whether it be an external drive-up unit, because you're bringing extra revenue into your site, and so many people don't want to do it, and I still can't understand why.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think we're getting a lot of inquiries now where people they've used the scale or the mass of the building that they've had built, and they've put 200-300 rooms in there. They're now going out to the car parks. We're seeing that a hell of a lot more now. And the inquiries that are coming in, that's exactly right, Dean. Everyone's going down that route now. Everyone seems to be, rather than buying another premises, they're putting the relocatable units onto land that they've already got and already paid for.
Yeah, and before we press record, you was telling me about the solar panels on the units, and I genuinely haven't even heard about this, the LED lights. So if you could just tell me what you told me before we start recording, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. So from an environmental perspective, we wanted to try and keep it, just to save the guys owning the sites, to have to put a 240 volt wire in, start linking them and loop them into unit to unit. What we actually give away with this product as well is an LED lighting pack, which comes with a solar panel, which is installed on top of the roof, both of the vault and of the mass unit. So when you're entering the facility 24 hours a day, you've always got light there, and it's not costing anyone any extra money. It's actually built into the unit. It's a fantastic solution. Very swish. For sure.
Yeah, do you know what? My Beverley site, so my Beverley, as I said to you before, my Beverley units are all purpose-built. There was all purpose-built, insulated, etc., ply-lined, roller shutters, really nice looking things, but it cost me an absolute fortune to put armoured cable down, to get the electrics all around, and to get the lights, and with obviously that sort of system that you've got, you don't have any of that whatsoever.
No, absolutely. And it doesn't matter how far away it is from, the main building to take power to it. It doesn't matter where you put these things. You can put them in the middle of a field and they'll be absolutely fine. You're always going to have light there. They're a fantastic solution. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree, buddy. I absolutely love them. What changes have you seen in the manufacturing sector during the past 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I guess manufacturing, it's hard because I've only been with Janus for 2 years, but I think manufacturing on a whole, I think it's automation. It's got to be automation and innovation. In the Centre of Excellence in Peterlee, we're always looking at innovative ways to produce the product that we're producing in a green way. So trying to do it the fastest way, but also try to do it with the best quality and customer focus in mind all the time. So we've just invested quite heavily in a large automated door line with all robot arms and bits and pieces. So it starts with the skin, comes through the full process, punches it, bends it, goes onto the robot cell, and then actually gets stacked as well. So there's lots of cameras and sensors on this thing as well. So it's just completely changed the way that the processing of the self-storage industry is being done from a manufacturing perspective. But yeah, it's tier one automotive stuff, really. It's really, really fantastic to see.
Yeah, people are getting so involved in the environment now and being more concerned about, if I'm honest, it's something that I've been looking at myself, and this is why I wanted to get somebody on from Janus to talk about this, because I kind of feel like we've all got a responsibility. And if I'm really truthful with everybody and you and the audience, I've been putting it on a back burner, to be honest, and I do want to learn more about it. I want to learn more about sustainability for the environment and stuff. And so my question to you is, how does Janus comply in terms of processes and materials and with all this environmental stuff that's coming out then?
Yeah, well, we are actually living and breathing it at Janus. We've got a full ESG policy within the organisation. So we're ensuring that we're using well-vetted vendors, so making sure that it's coming from non-conflict zones. Any materials or anything we're getting is coming from direct from source from countries all around the world. We're also making sure that we're always innovating the ways that we try and buy materials into the business, making sure they're environmentally green, or they're coming through the right tracks as well. But it's Janus International at present are really, really looking at the environment, how we're sourcing materials, where the materials are coming from, and also just trying to ensure that even when we pass them materials on, the green materials for the users as well. So you're not using the old school ways. So for instance, everything that we have here is in the site is involved renewable energy. So we use renewables to even produce the components. And I think that's what operators should do as well. They should be looking at how their sites are working, how they're paying for the electricity. Does it come from a renewable source? Does it come from a solar panel, a wind turbine? Does it come from a renewable type electricity as opposed to the old coke and coal ran sites to produce the old school way of electricity?
I absolutely love this. So, Craig, has this been the focus of yours before you was at Janus, or is this something that you've gone into Janus and seen that this is all part of how Janus are doing things? Did you do anything like this before?
Yeah, no, I've done things like this prior to Janus International Europe as well on different appointments that I've had globally. So with the ESG thing, with the environmental, it's always trying to, I'm still quite a young lad, so I try to look at it as looking to try and save the planet somewhat for my children, and making sure that we're doing something rather than using all the natural resource. So as a business, Janus really have this at the forefront now. In previous businesses, it hasn't been as heavy as it is at Janus. Janus really live and breathe this with the environmental. So there's lots and lots of things. We employ a team of 4 people who are just looking at this on a constant basis. What can we do? Can we plant trees? Can we make sure that the environment that we're working within is better all the time? It's these sort of things that are going to make Janus stand out from anybody else in the industry in regards to the manufacturing. Do
you know what? I respect you guys so much for that, because I really do think it's something like, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's not necessarily about us, it's about our kids as well, and making sure we protect the planet for our kids and for their kids as well.
Absolutely. It means a lot. And I think people are living and breathing it all the way from marketing, the sales and inquiry end, right the way through to the installation on sites. Everyone's using the best tools, the best equipment, and what's readily available in today's world that's green. We're trying to be absolutely all over it, Dean.
Yeah. So Little Birdie's told me you've got a newer, more sustainable steel solution. I think it's called GreenCoat. How does this benefit the operators?
So there's some big benefits to have. So it's sustainable, it's flexible. It comes from actually rapeseed oil. So it's environmentally friendly. So, for instance, if you ever went to sell your facilities, Dean, it's got all the credentials. It's got everything it needs to be green. It comes from rapeseed oil. It gets sprayed on as a process, and then when it gets reprocessed from a waste perspective, it means that the actual paint element of it gets decomposed. There's no nasties in there, chemicals that are going to harm anyone. So it's an incredible product to use. The amount of people that have converted over to GreenCoat already it's astonishing, absolutely astonishing.
Do you know what? Just looking at you and listening to you talk, you are so passionate. You're making me more passionate about it. You're so passionate about this whole subject.
No, it's honestly it's something we worked with this these people in the steel industry for a long time to produce this for this industry, for the self-storage industry. And it's absolutely fantastic. Honestly, I can't rave anymore about this product. The colour matched everything from the old leather grains and the polys to bring over to the GreenCoat. And we've worked on this for quite a long time. So it's something that I'm very passionate about. And also, people should be who are buying this product as well, because it gives them major benefits and green credentials to work on the back of as well, Dean.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of proud that we're doing this podcast and getting the name out there and getting people more aware of what we can do as people, as companies, just to do our little bit to preserve the environment and do our bit for the future generations as well.
Absolutely, that's very important to us, and obviously, for people who want to get involved. But what we're seeing, Dean, is lots of people are jumping on the back of this as well. And it's great to see, the volumes changing from the leather grains and things right the way over to the GreenCoats. It's fantastic product.
Yeah. When did you guys start using it? When did it come out?
Yeah, so we've been developing this for probably around about the last 16 months. We've probably been selling it for the last 6 months. So we've had, over 16 months worth of development, making sure we get this absolutely right for the industry before it's brought in. So yeah, I'd say about 6 months we've actually been physically selling it to clients and customers. And, we can see the doors that are processing through the Centre of Excellence now in Peterlee, and it's incredible. The changeover to GreenCoat, it really is. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it sounds it. So we all want to do our bit for the environment. And so how can operators that are listening to this, how can they make sure their current supplier is complying with all the current sustainability standards? What can we do? What should we look for?
I think that's an easy question for me. Come to Janus, we've got it all sorted. We've got all boxes ticked off here, you know. We employ people to do this, you know. But yeah, I think that they need to be vetting the clients. They need to be vetting the people that they're using, making sure they're going for like the EV charging points for sustainability, LED lighting, making sure they've got PIR sensors so lights are switching off when they don't need to be used, you know, making sure that they're using the correct people and making sure that materials are coming from recognised sources, not just bringing it in because it's cheap and it'll work for now. We do a lot of due diligence on the innovation and the quality of our metallurgy department in regards to the materials that are used. So we know that they've got lots of lifespan, and we offer the warranties we offer because we do our due diligence on the metallurgy of the steels. That's how we work as a business, and it works really, really well.
I love it. So you're making me feel bad now because I definitely don't do enough. So for people like me out there, what is there anything that you would recommend facility owners to do in their current facilities and to be more sustainable, to be more eco-friendly?
Yeah, I think from an environmental perspective, and I'd really be looking at like solar panels. Can you use solar technology within the sites that you've already got? Can you use a wind turbine? Is there anywhere on your site where you could fit a wind turbine to make sure that you're using sort of a recycled energy back into the business? I think some sort of LED lighting, you know, a bit of a program within an older facility to change to LED, and also put some sort of PIR sensors in there. But again, I think one of the biggest things to help with the actual look of the facilities and to get the green credentials is move towards GreenCoat as well. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Craig, I've actually just been taking notes of what we can do, what extra we can do. So you've definitely started me thinking about more what we can do. So, and I'm sure people listening to this as well are going to be in the same sort of boat as well. So, mate, thank you very much for that little sector. Then I thought it was really good.
No, thank you very much, Dean.
So just one last question in from me. And what do you predict will be the biggest 2022 trend changes for self-storage manufacturing?
Yeah, for me personally, I think we've already started to see it in the latter end of last year and going into this year is definitely going to be relocatable units. I think for me personally, I think the mass units and the vaults, but also the keyless solution in Noki. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things. We're seeing huge volumes come through the factory at present, with Noki wanting to be fitted to roller doors, the high security door and the flat swing door as well. So I think them three solutions for me in the manufacturing of the products is something that's really going to fly in 2022.
Yeah, I agree, especially with No Key Technology. Our No Key Technology site is, when this goes live, it should be open.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah, and we're really looking forward to it. And it just opens up the doors where you can have manless facilities. It means that your facility doesn't have to be a big 20,000 square foot facility to make it work. It can be a little 5,000, 4,000. I've even spoken to somebody who's got a 2,500 square foot facility who's got No Key Technology, where that wouldn't have been possible before this No Key Technology. I'm super excited by the way it's going.
And you should be, Dean, honestly. I think when you see these sites, I'm sure you've seen it before you purchased it, but it looks absolutely amazing when it's installed as well, the Noki. And the solution, you know, on the mobile phone, you don't need keys. You're straight into your facility. Who doesn't have a mobile phone nowadays, Dean? You know, it's bringing it right into the 2020. I think it's fantastic for innovation.
Yeah. With when I got Noki, my one worry that I had was, how are people going to be able to do? Are they going to be able to work the technology? Are they going to be able to work the app on the phone? Is it going to be too confusing? And literally, I got it, and it's like literally 3 different buttons. Do you want to open the gate, open the door, or open your unit? I'm like, holy shit, this is brilliant. This is so straightforward. I can use it. If I can use it, anybody can use it.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of investment into the Janus team and the Noki team to develop the app to be able to be really user-friendly. And I've got it on my phone as well, Dean. You know, we've got locks around because we're trying them on doors all the time inside the factory in R&D. And yeah, it's what a solution. If I was opening a facility, that's exactly what I'd put in. I'd go for Noki all day long for exactly the reasons that you mentioned as well. Unmanned facilities, and also the data that it records as well. it's unbelievable.
And it's more safe as well, because in my current location, we've got alarmed rooms. So every single room is individually alarmed. However, if somebody goes up above the mesh and goes from one room to the next, then there's nothing we can do. We don't even know about it because there's no alarm, because the door hasn't been broached. Where with the no-key technology, it's got sensors in there. So if there's any movement in your room, it alarms. I'm like, holy, this is brilliant. This thinks of everything.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, the proximity sensors which are on there are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So if anything, it gives you that extra piece of security and peace of mind as well as an owner of a facility or someone actually renting that space out. I think it's great.
Yeah, I know. This is proper advertisement for Nokia and Janus, isn't it? But do you know what? I can only say from what I've experienced, and my experience so far has been absolutely incredible with the Nokia, with everything you guys are doing. So I'm massively impressed. So from me to you as a company and what you're doing in the eco space as well, just thank you very much. I've got my full admiration and respect.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And we're also here to help as well. We want to and lead the way in regards to innovation, new materials, and what you're seeing out there now in regards to the new product launches that are coming from Janus. But that's something that's not going to stop. There's still lots of things in the pipeline as well, which we can't speak about of yet. But we're certainly not standing still, Dean. That's for sure. There's a lot of things going on within the group, and it's fantastic to be a part of as well.
We love innovation on this podcast, Craig. So you're welcome back anytime, pal, to tell us any little secrets or any things, any products you've got coming out.
Absolutely. Well, you'll certainly be seeing them in the near future. That's for sure, Dean.
Excellent. Well, Craig, thank you so much for your time, mate. I've really, really enjoyed it. I can see straight away your passion for this, and I think it's absolutely brilliant.
No, thank you very much, Dean. Thank you very much for having me on your podcast. Really means